Hey guys, I'm Billy with Night Designs, and this is a product description video for the top cover for the taillight blackout kit. So, like all my other videos, I do the whole shebang by myself, do all the recording, so you'll just have to bear with me, okay? So here we go. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and kind of show you this thing up close. So this is a fiberglass piece. And fits just like this. Pretty simple. Alright. Now then, we're going to talk about installing this thing. So I'm going to set the camera back and get it to where you can see what I'm talking about and what I'm looking at. And I'm going to show you about installing. Okay, so this part's going to come out of the mold. I use black gel coat, so it's going to look exactly like this one. It's going to come in black. There's really no point in me sending it in primer because you're going to have to do a little finish work possibly. I want to make that very clear. You may have to do a little finish work. Doubtful, but possible. You can see the amount of finish work I had to do on this one. Let's see if I can get it in the video. This little bitty sand spot right here. That's all I had to take off. So when you get this, I'm going to send it to you really quick out of the mold. So what that means, the part's going to be cured, it's going to be dry, but it's going to be green. Get it on the car as quick as possible. And what I'd like for you to do, go ahead and fit everything. I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. Tape it down from the cover down to the taillight frame. Just use some duct tape or masking tape. Tape it in place and let it sit there for a couple of weeks so it can take shape and adapt to its new home. Alright, so what the plan here is, when you put the taillight blackout cover in, you get everything set with your frame, you get your taillight where you want it. Ideally, you want your taillight cover, the plexiglass, to be flush with the outside of the quarter panel right here. When you get that set, that's going to put you about 1/4 of an inch inside the quarter panel right here on the frame. You're going to drop this back about 1/4. So the next step, when you get this cover from me, you want the cover to be in line with the frame all the way across, just like this one is. It should, if you've installed the taillight kit properly, when you get this cover from me, it's going to fit just the way it's supposed to. If you don't have your taillight just right, it's okay. You don't have to make modifications to it. You're just going to make modifications to this fiberglass cover piece. So you get it on here, and let's just say you're nice and flush right here on the corner. Your little cover piece works good, and you're a little full right here, maybe a 1/16. No big deal. Just get you a pencil, put a mark underneath it, or either put a piece of duct tape across the front of your powder-coated frame, and get you a sanding block and just sand this front lip right off until it's nice and smooth. You've got to get it smooth. It cannot stick off like this. I want to repeat that. This cover cannot stick out past the frame because it will interfere with your plexiglass taillight cover. Alright, so when you get it sanded, you get it where you want it. I'm going to send these out with a 3M double adhesions molding on the bottom. So when you get it, you'll see the little red strip. You pull the strip off and you just stick it down. Obviously that's the last thing you do. You do all your sanding and your prep work first and getting your installation correct. The other thing you can do is, obviously the trim is going to hold it, so when you put your trim back in place and snap all this down just like this, that's going to help to hold the trim piece in place where it's supposed to be. Also, I'm going to say a lot of folks are going to be fine with that just as it is. That's good enough. But if you're really picky like me, I'm going to show you something right here. Now, bear in mind that the backs of these cars are all different. You've got cars coming out of Detroit, you got cars coming out of Van Nuys. One manufacturer is 1/4 inch wider than the other, okay? So Detroit's 1/4 inch wider than Van Nuys, if I'm not mistaken. It may be vice versa. But anyway, you get the gist. So let's just say you got a little gap here. This is totally normal. This is planned for. If you want to be picky like I am, my recommendation is get some black RVT or some silicone after you've installed it, and you tool the silicone in around the front and down the side, right down through here all the way down. If you don't know how to tool silicone, just do a YouTube search and type in tooling silicone or tooling caulk. And all you do is, I'll give you like a little rundown. You just do it with your finger. I'll pretend like this pen is a tube of caulk. So you squirt it in all down through here, just like that. Once you get a good round bead, squirt it in. You just take your finger, tip of your finger, your pointer finger, number 1, not number 2. Pull down very slowly. Pull down just like this. Put a little bit of pressure. And the idea is to make a uniform pass all the way down so that you end up with a concave look inside the silicone. And once you get it set, just leave it alone. Don't keep playing with it, because you'll just mess it up and have to start over. I'm speaking from experience. Learned that the hard way. So I think that pretty much wraps everything up. If you guys have any questions, send me an email. I am awful about checking Facebook messages. I don't have Messenger on my phone, and I really don't want to put it on my phone for a lot of weird reasons. It's just not important, I guess. So if you got a question, just email me. Be glad to answer it. All right, you guys have a good day. Take care.